What's up, y'all? Sandman here. So I'm making this video for a client in specific, but it's a common problem that I see that people are having when they do cable pull-throughs or banded pull-throughs. A really quick word on some homemade equipment. These are pallet bands. I get them on Amazon from moving companies. They're super cheap. I have a million of them, so I can add a lot of resistance, or I can make it pretty minimal. So really good cheap option for having a ton of exercise bands, because as you know, if you've spent money on an expensive set, they dry rot, they break. So it's nice to have a low investment. I travel everywhere I go with something like this, 4 to 8 of these bands, a whole bunch of carabiners and things to tie off to, so that I can attach to door frames, chain link fences, posts, etc. So just a quick tip. I program a lot of banded stuff because I just like to be able to train the same way that I train at home on the road. So I typically end up avoiding putting cable things in. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Cables might be better, but I like to do the band. So onto the cable pull-throughs. Common mistake that I see people make is they turn into a squat. So when they feel the band resistance, they kind of come into this squat position and then try to drive up. Everything has its own application. That might be a better way for a specific application. Most of the time when I'm programming cable pull-throughs, what I'm really wanting to target is the posterior chain for specific applications. Okay, so I do them 2 separate ways. The majority of the time that I do mine, they're a more muscle building specific fashion. Basically not coming up onto my toes, not doing it as drastically dynamic. And then the other way is coming into a full triple extension onto my toes, allow the bands to kind of pull me back, reset, and explode up. I like to use that application for tactical athletes, fighters, people that are going to need to explode into something using their posterior chain. Okay, so the rest of the time that I program pull-throughs, it's just to add assistance volume. It's just that, it's not a main exercise. I never program it as a main exercise. It's just assistance, it's assisted, it's assisting all of your other lifts, okay? So adding volume to the posterior chain in a safe, healthy fashion, hopefully not get you so sore. Sometimes I use it as like kind of a tonic exercise because it's a little less stressful on the body than say kettlebell swings and Romanian deadlifts and exercise of the sort. So moving on to the demonstration, I always like to set up my cable pull-throughs at about back of the knee level or lower. Reason being, for me, I have a longer torso, shorter arms. As you can see where my hands fall, where the problem will be if I have this set up higher than my knees or higher than my hips. Okay, it's gonna be pretty painful. So, excuse me, I've had a cold for the past couple of days, so I'm doing the best I can to use my man voice. So, I like to set it up just like so for the most part when I'm in my home gym. This is my yoke, it's empty right now, so I have to weight it down so it doesn't move. So if it does move, I'm sorry, it might be all over the place. So right now I'm gonna use 4 bands. Basically, I'm going to grab with an overhand grip. I'll step out until I feel a pretty solid tension on the glutes. I'm locked out. I will let the bands pull me back. What I don't want is I don't want to be in this super forward leaning position. I want to get a good hip angle. I want to allow it to pull my chest back, have the weight on my heels. I'll try to grip the ground with my toes so I don't rock back too bad. And this is just kind of like your standard muscle building variation here. So I am just going to feel that good stretch. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to try to snap at the hips, lock out here. What I don't want to see is locking out way out here or half reps. Where you're coming out to here, you're not extending. You should feel a pretty good solid contraction in the glute when you snap out to here. And I just kind of use my forearms to get a little displacement between this and my groin area. So demonstration of the other way, will be something like this. I'll feel this big stretch, get this dynamic stretch. I'm going to pop out onto my toes, let it pull me back, reset, pop out onto my toes. If I can, get into a rhythm where I'm driving out and it's not pulling me back and forth, I think that's an effective way to train a light triple extension exercise with minimal equipment on the road, minimal space. You see the point. Anyways, I hope this helps. Just big key points. Soft knees, don't lock your knees all the way out. Have your knees soft, slight bend in the knees. Allow it to pull your behind back so you feel a good stretch on your posterior chain. And just be aggressive with those contractions, okay? Don't go down too fast, especially if you're having back problems or something. Don't want you to experience any injuries or spasms in your back because the band tension is pretty aggressive from the top coming down. But you should be able to get a good contraction. Just gonna add a bonus exercise or bonus variation that I like to do at the end of my sets or at the end of a workout when I utilize these. If you guys have followed Westside Barbell, or maybe a lot of, probably a lot of other people talk about it, but I like to just do walkouts, okay? This works a little bit better if you have some sort of strap set up because your hands are kind of the failing point, but come out to where I feel good resistance, and I will just be stepping in kind of a waddle fashion, okay? So if you have straps or something, that'll make it a little bit more comfortable because it'll really pull on your fingertips. But anyways, guys, I hope this helps. To my client, please watch this video. If you have any questions, send them over to me and we'll get you fixed right. But remember, soft knees, don't bend at the knee too much. This is not a squat training exercise. This is a strict hinge pattern, posterior chain developer. And again, it's assistance work. You don't have to go too heavy. You don't have to go too crazy. Just get the volume in a safe, effective fashion. Please remember to like and subscribe to this video. Sandman out.